Okay, I've just got home. It's currently 1:57. If you can read the time upside down. I've just got home from the induction at my brand new job. You know, my new place of work, my new establishment at the holy matrix of all jobs, McDonald's. Yes, that is where Michael Knight himself is currently working. Now, this video is obviously a lot more of a personal one. I'm not necessarily going to be sharing, the knowledge, the kind of content I usually produce. This is just a sort of update, I guess, if you like, of my own personal life, things that I'm doing, things that I'm willing to share with you guys. All right. And yeah, obviously, if you like me, if you know anything about me, you'll be very warm, very welcome, and excited and glad to stay and watch this performance. But yeah, so this morning I woke up at around 6:15. 6:15. That's quite early, and I'm happy about that. In the past, I've worked plenty of jobs, all of which required me to wake up quite early, actually. And I'm someone who believes in waking up early. They say the early bird gets the worm. That naturally can, spiral off into so many different mindsets, so many different quotes. But it is true. The earlier you wake up, the more on the ball you are. You're ready, you're sharp, you're quick, you're alert. Instead of waking up at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., you're waking up in the afternoon, you're groggy, you're slow. The only reason you're waking up at a time like that is because you also went to sleep late. If you're going to sleep late, it's probably because you haven't got much direction, you've not got much plan, no vision, okay? You don't know what you're going to do the next day. If you had something ready, okay, when I wake up, I need to do this. I can't allow the time to go past without me having done this thing. You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't see it as like I had to wake up at this time. I got to wake up early, That's just how over the years, I've programmed my brain to sort of switch and see things differently. A lot of the things that you guys will say, oh, I had to do this. I look at the situation and say, I get to do it. I had the opportunity to wake up early. I mean, waking up in of itself is something to be grateful for. When I journal, there are so many things that I like to journal and show gratuity about. Waking up is one of them, being able to breathe fresh oxygen, speak to my loved ones, walk around, have the physique I have. It's good to have gratitude for these things, right? So I woke up early, got ready, washed my face, did everything, went downstairs, it wasn't even, honestly, I didn't even have the best breakfast, to be honest, right? I mean, I woke up early enough, but hey, if you know anything about waking early, bro, it's funny. Time is very funny. When you anywhere in between like 5 a.m. and 7, the time it flies. It's crazy. I don't even know I don't understand, right? But time really flies. Okay. But I had a little something, and then that was straight, had to go. Okay, so started walking, I had my earphones in. I was listening to a podcast, actually. Which one? Can't remember. Okay, I can't remember. I think it was just like an autoplay. Anyway, okay. And then it got to a point where I just hopped in an Uber, okay, straight to my location of the McDonald's. I actually chose there's a new option on Uber now where you can like share a ride, right? It's kind of like hitchhiking, except it's Uber, I guess. Would you say it's related to hitchhiking? I don't. Right. So I did that. I was hoping to maybe, enter the Uber and see someone, maybe socialize a little bit before my induction. I think that's a pretty, good idea. I know a lot of people like you, so you're scared of social interactions. You're a weirdo, bro. Hey, keep your chin up, bro. They're not gonna eat you. People aren't gonna bite you, okay? It's okay to have a bit of social interaction. You know what I'm trying to say? Lock in with yourself, bro. Real talk. Like, there's a lot of experiences out there you'll miss out on because you're so scared to open your mouth and speak to new people who you've never seen before. You never know, the person who is near you might be scared of speaking to others as well. You're not alone. maybe you just saying one thing can spark something within them. Next thing you know, there's a mutual interest, and next thing you know, you're getting into a debate about something. You know what I'm trying to say? It just makes me laugh thinking about it. But allow yourself to come out of this comfort zone, especially for my people within the UK in which I currently reside, right? It's just something in the air. There's something in the culture. There's something about, I won't even say within the culture. I'd say the new age culture, isn't it? People just don't want to socialize. People don't want to come out their shell and really talk to one another about whatever the subject may be. But it's about time we change that, but yeah, obviously that didn't happen because I think the person dropped down before I actually got into the Uber, so it was just straight to the location. And then yeah, fucking hell, when you're on this life of self-improvement, obviously you like to spend time around people who are close to your own path. You never want to stay too far away and socialize with people who, can taint the color, taint the light in which you have. You never want to go and dabble in different puddles where the water is dirty and now it comes and affects your own water source. And you want to sort of stay clear to your own path and your vision. But going into certain places of work, well, a lot of people view work as their end goal. I just want to stay at this job and earn this amount of money, and and hopefully I can live a life that is really and truly mediocre. And people like us, we don't really see things that way. But I'm just saying that because you see a lot of kinds of people, at work and stuff like that. It's always okay to understand that you don't always have to be buddy with just everyone. You want to keep people at an arm's length. Always reserve the ability to say, I'm not interested. No, I don't fancy going to that party. I don't have time. I have somewhere to be. Even if you don't have anywhere to be, if they can't respect your boundaries, if they can't respect your feelings, your decisions, then they had no business inviting you in the first place, because their intentions are not pure. They're of ill intent. You understand? So not to say I've had these experiences today, but I'm just saying going forward in future, maybe I can teach one of you who may be going into work or maybe dealing with this right now. You understand? But to move on from that, anyway, it was smashing. Tried on the outfit. The t-shirt was really nice. Yeah, it was a muscle fit. That's the main thing I wanted. Anyone who knows me, you'll know that the way I like to dress nowadays, anything that accentuates my physique, that's what I want. That's how I want to dress. You see a lot of bagginess nowadays, and some people, you can pull it off, and obviously each to their own, right? I mean, I don't care about how other people dress, but I like to give reference points and talk about what I wouldn't wear and what other people wear and stuff like that. But the t-shirt was nice. The jeans, again, the trousers were pretty tight, man. Like, I wish I had a photo, but damn, I really should have brought a photo just to put some on the screen. I'll probably put random stuff on the screen anyway, guys, just to keep you engaged a little bit. And you shouldn't even need that. You should be able to lock in and stay through a video through the entire duration, right? But yeah, they were kind of tight. And naturally, I'm gonna stand up actually. Yeah, there you go. That's your dopamine. My legs are naturally quite big. I don't even know if this does any justice to me, right? And don't get me started on my calves. I might add a video of my calves in. My calves are huge, okay? The other day, I've seen calf veins. I've seen calf veins in my calves, That is obviously a sign of a great level of muscle, I guess you'd say, right? Muscle size hypertrophy. Yeah, they were quite tight on me. So I had to tell the guy, hey, they fit me. I can make do for a while, but they are a bit tight. Any chance we could get a higher size, bigger size? So we got that sorted out. Yeah, needless to say, anything else, it was time to head home. Got on a bus, pretty mediocre, I mean, the way things are going, it seems as though I'm going to use this job to buy my first car, I already know, like, my parents are so what's the word, predictable. Like, I just know they're just gonna fork in some money for that, like, and it's like, I wasn't raised to have to rely on them so much. So now when they want to do all this stuff, it's like, I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood. It wasn't there for me when I needed it. I had to go down different paths for certain things, bro. I mean, talking about stuff like earning money, like the things I had to do sometimes, I feel like, obviously they made me who I am, right? But, you know, and I'm not going to get into it in this video. Hey, stick around, subscribe. You'll hear me talk about stuff about my own life. Even people that know me, there's certain things you don't really know about me. You know, stick around and show support for real. You know, comment, like the video. These sides to me will come out. You know, and I know, you know, if you're here and you know me and I didn't send you this video or show you this account, but you're watching me, look, you know what I mean? It means you want to hear me talk about my life. You want to hear me and see me in my element, which I am. Greetings, you know. But show support a bit, you know, comment, do what you need to do. All of it is much appreciated. Okay, even to those of you who do not know me. But yeah, those stories will come out. But let me see, where was I? So obviously I was talking about how, you know, things I had to do. So nowadays when my parents want to be doing all those crazy sort of things for me, it's like, I'd rather not have it, you know. There's a saying I like to say or live by, and it's that, do me a favor, don't do me any favors. You understand? Like, don't do things for me, especially if I didn't ask you to do things for me. There's a lot of situations in life I've had growing up where people expect you to reciprocate whatever energy they've laid onto you, whether it's unwarranted or not, you know. Keep me away from it. You know, keep me away from it. I'm not about that. Like my birthday is shortly coming up. My parents want to throw a party at the house. Me personally, I'm not in the mood for it. I'm a special kind of individual. I feel as though unless I have worked hard enough to deserve such a treat, don't give it to me. What is the reinforcement? Like, of what positive thing have I done that you're now reinforcing with this treat? You understand? I like to live life with positive reinforcements. Every day I work hard so that eventually I'll reap the reward. I don't want the reward now, because if I have the reward now, where's the fuel? They say fire needs 3 things for it to, you know, continue to burn. It needs fuel, oxygen. If you're giving me like all the requirements today, then how am I gonna work hard enough to get them for myself? If you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's the way I feel, you know. Like, I know you guys appreciate me, and I appreciate you guys as well. You don't need to go over the top. And I feel like I'm ranting a bit. I don't care. This is a personal video, isn't it? So, you know, I can really just do what I want. But yeah, for them to chip in some money for me to buy a vehicle, hey, I appreciate that. You know, I really do appreciate it. I know it's a lot of people out there who are in situations much worse than mine. And I am in no way complaining. Okay, I very rarely complain. All I do is outline and state what is going on right now. Okay? Don't, like, make that very clear. But again, there's so many people out there who wish that they had even 10% of what I have right now. Which is, again, why I very rarely complain. Because life could always be worse. Okay, maybe that's for a whole other topic in of itself. Okay, life could always be worse, bro. Life could always be worse. So don't spend all of your time in gratitude. Never complain. You should never really be complaining, because there's always someone going through so much worse than you are right now. You know, this is why every morning when I journal, I'm gratuity journaling. I'm showing gratitude. I'm getting my vibrations high. I'm making myself more open to good things to come into my life. If you're closed off and you know, your social dynamic is showing that you don't want to talk to people. People won't talk to you. Like the other day, I literally had a conversation with a guy at the bus stop. Obviously my body language must have been open. I must have looked like somebody that you would want to talk to. So he spoke to me and we started talking. One thing led to another. He turned out to work for something to do with my current town, like the council, something like that, right? And he basically had a lot of connections and he was just getting to know me, and I was just talking about how right now, in terms of education, the position in which I am in right now, it meant that there's chance for me to go to university. Now obviously here we ain't really with that, but it's obviously an avenue I'd like to keep open, especially if I could go and study something of great merits, you know, something that at the end of it, the job I get could not be attained if you did not go to university. That's what I would like. Something that if you didn't get this degree, this specific degree, you can't get this job. If you didn't go to college and spend how much time I did and get the certificate that I did get in college, you couldn't get this degree, meaning you couldn't get that job that the degree grants you. You understand? I want my time at university to be well spent, also whilst keeping 100% of my own money, right? I don't want to be in debt at the end of it. I was speaking to a girl yesterday, 60 grand in debt. 60 grand. How? How? I was like, excuse me? You understand? Anyway, I feel like this video is dragging on a little bit, but again, it's fine, you know, it's fine. So yeah, but obviously, you know, that interaction, like again, he said he did some things, he did a few things, and we're in contact, okay? But just from that interaction, that might have a great impact on my life. You never know. So just try and be a bit more open and social to people, bro. Take care of yourself. Get a haircut. Trim your facial hair. Dress nice. All I'm wearing is a black t-shirt. This is how I dress 80% of the time, I promise you. I don't wear too much flashy brands and all that. You don't need to. Hey, my physique speaks for itself. I look better than 90% of the guys you see out there walking around just because of my physique alone. I can walk up to any girl, you know, 20 seconds, number grabbed, Snapchat grabbed, onto the next. Literally, I'll speak to 10 girls the same setting, just off the rip, just because I know this, what I've just said in the past minute, right? I know this about myself, so I can walk with the confidence required. I take care of myself, which leads to me feeling good about myself, which leads to confidence, which leads to success in social dynamics. It's that easy. So that's just a little message I wanted to send you guys. Obviously, my time at McDonald's is going to be a great one. I'm very excited for this new era within my life, and I just plan on using the money to better myself. You know, just the other day I spent about £100 with a productivity coach. You know, not to say that I was lacking in productivity or that I wasn't productive, but I really wanted to harness the true meaning. You know, I wanted to polish what I currently have, you know, in regards to my work, right? I can make time and sit down and get to work, but is the quality of work of a good standard? Maybe that's to do with my level of productivity. Okay, so I hired a coach, and it's gonna help things move a lot smoother. Okay, you guys are with me from the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna let you know how things are going. Is an update. Some people like to hide these things, who they're spending money with, what they're investing into. Not me, you understand? But again, it's quite a raw video, isn't it? I love this. I might do this a lot more often, actually, especially if the yeah, no, I'm gonna do this a lot more often. But yeah, I don't want to end the video. You know them ones. I don't want to end it. I feel like let me see, what else can I talk about? Okay, I've literally got nothing else to add, so I'm gonna leave you guys off with a quote. Lao Tzu says, "The warrior who masters himself conquers all battles." I'm gonna see you guys soon. Speak once, listen twice. Take care, my people. Boom!